In Minnesota, the epicenter of the nationwide protests over George Floyd's death, the Minneapolis mayor received a stinging rebuke Saturday. While speaking to demonstrators about police reform, Mayor Jacob Frey refused to commit to defunding the police, prompting a wave of boos and go-home chants from the crowd.
Go home, Jacob! Go home! Go home, Jacob! Go home! Go home, Jacob! Go home! Go home, Jacob! Go home!
NBC's Shaquille Brewster joins me now from Minneapolis. Shaq, has the mayor said anything more on his decision?
Well, Alicia, he explained his decision as he doesn't support the full abolishment or full abolition or defunding of the Minneapolis Police Department. Instead, what he supports is reform for that department. He wants to give the new police chief more time, more resources to be able to reform and more power to reform that department instead of just completely defunding it. But you heard and you saw in that video that that was not enough for the protesters there. Protesters who are going to continue to be out downtown calling for that abolition. And I was in St. Paul yesterday in front of the governor's mansion where you had about 1,000 people there also calling for the governor and the attorney general to look back at cases, not just the George Floyd killing, but going back further beyond to see cases of alleged police brutality. People want to address the systemic issues involving policing, and that's what the anger is that you're seeing there, and that's what's being reflected. I can tell you here at the site where George Floyd was killed, you continue to see a more solemn scene. People come with their flowers, come with notes, come with their families from all across the state and frankly all across the country to pay their respects to George Floyd. And here you also get a sense of that activism that you're hearing out on the streets. Listen to what one gentleman told me about what he wants to come from the death of George Floyd.
Everybody should take a step forward, not backwards, and press on, because that's what's going to take to get this change. And everybody wants to change. That's why they're here. That's why you see what you see. Everybody's looking for a change.
And that change looks a little bit different for everyone. If you look at what's happened just over the past couple of weeks, we've seen that ban on chokeholds and strangleholds by the Minneapolis Police Department. There's that duty to report that officers have, where if they see any excessive use of force, they need to report and intervene. You saw the charges for those officers. There is change happening, but what people say and remind me over and over is that they want to see the systemic issues in policing. They want to see those systemic issues addressed, and that's what they're starting to feel like they're starting to get right now, but they want to keep the pressure on because they want to see those big issues addressed and solved. Alicia?
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.